Boom shakalaka, what is up guys? Randall here from Crypto Love, and today we have an episode about how to make money from crypto announcements like what happened with Verge with trailing stop losses. Now before we do that, just want to say thank you to everyone subscribing, thank you for mashing on that like button, and let's get started. Now, back around April 2nd, Verge's price was starting to pump a little bit, and I read in the news this announcement about an exclusive partnership that Verge was having. The CEO was talking about it. It was supposed to be huge, could be a number 3 crypto. This could potentially be something big. He thought this was going to be huge. Now, on one hand, I know Verge, pretty decent cryptocurrency, has privacy, a lot of hype, a lot of market movement. So this is something that could potentially be big. Now, taking a look at some other stuff, today, April 17th, there was the announcement. Now, we want to go see what happens from the time that I found out about it to the time of the announcement and see what happens. And I'll show you exactly what I did there and how I did it. Made a little bit of money, didn't make a lot of money, but made a little bit of money on that trade. And this is something that can be replicated over and over again because cryptocurrency markets are somewhat volatile. They're prone to hype, prone to announcements, but the same pattern tends to happen over and over again with these announcements, and I'll share with you what that is. In case you guys didn't know, Verge partnered with MindGeek, PornHub, Brazzers, all that stuff. So, the announcement. April 2nd, boom, Verge's price was down here, all right, between 500 and 700 Satoshis, somewhere down there, okay, to an all-time high of almost 1,400 Satoshis. So almost tripled in price. And then the price shot back down, but we're finding some support again, right around the 1,000 Satoshi level. Okay, now, how do you profit from it? You use what's called a trailing stop loss. So basically it's a stop loss that you have to set every day or every hour, however often you feel like doing it. I did it every day until it set off, and I'll show you exactly what happened. But basically I had a stop loss set. So basically I purchased some at market price right around here. So I think it was somewhere around 700 Satoshis, all right? And so I set a stop loss. I believe it was 15% below that, but for ease, we'll just use 10%. So 700 Satoshis, I set a stop loss at 630 Satoshis. Well, it didn't hit the next day, so the price went up, and then it was then went all the way up to 1,000 Satoshis, all right? Then I redid the stop loss to 900 some Satoshis, and then the price came down, boom. Stop loss was set off because the price went below what I put. But had I put something lower, I could have rode it all the way up to the top for some bigger profits. Now I got some profits out of it. It wasn't a complete loss, but it is something that you have to kind of play with the stop loss because the prices are going to do this. So you have to figure what you're comfortable with losing. And then from there, you can decide how much you want to win. So just to give you an idea, a graphic of what it looks like. You purchase a cryptocurrency here, all right? You set a stop loss down below. Now in traditional markets, they set stop losses for like 2%. Cryptocurrency is a bit more volatile. I usually set between 10% and 25%. Now realize when you do this, that if you set it at 10%, that means 10 losses that get set off, and that's all your money. If you set it at 25%, that means 4 losses that get set off. That's all your money. So you do have to realize, you know, there's something to be lost there. But I buy it and I set it. And if the price goes up, the next day, I'll renew the stop loss. So if it went up, you know, from 900 Satoshis to 1,000 Satoshis, I would redo that to 10% of 1,000 instead of 10% of 900. All right. And set that. The price can come down as long as it doesn't touch the stop loss. You can do it again the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, until one of these days the stop loss gets set off, and then you sell and you take whatever profits you get there. This is called a trailing stop loss, and I'll show you how to do it in a second. Now, just to give you an idea, obviously this isn't exactly how it worked with Verge, but these are the low prices that we're seeing for each day. So the very bottom of the opening price, whatever that was, just to give you an idea. So on the second, it was 640. So 580 would be 10% below. These are all 10% below. Okay, so then on the third, 674 and 607 was 10% below. So again, going up And if we see each day our low is not breaking the 10% below until eventually on the 17th today, when everybody sold, there's a huge sell-off when the news occurred. Everybody sold, and then the stop loss was set off. Now, how do you go ahead and do that? Well, you head over to Binance, all right? And on Binance, I'll just show you how to do it on Binance because I like using Binance Exchange because it's just simple, easy. They're in Malta having a good time. Basically what you do is you go find Verge, and instead of a limit order, which would normally be set on, you go to stop limit order, all right? And so right now, the market price is 1,075 Satoshis. So 10% below that is like 975 Satoshis. So if we wanted to set a stop loss for 10% below, we would set the stop at 975 Satoshis. So that would be when there's an alert that's set off that our order is placed on the books to sell, and then the sell order is at 970 Satoshis. So the limit has to be below the stop. So the stop puts the order on the books for the limit price, and then the amount, 100%, 75%, 50%, whatever you want to do, all right? And then you would just click on sell Verge. So that's how you go ahead and set a stop loss. It's pretty simple. I have a few videos. I have a video of how to set a stop loss on Binance, also how to set a trailing stop loss on Binance. So if you want to see those, make sure you search for those. But just to show you that Verge is not the only one that you can do this with, you could also do this there anytime. Anytime there's an announcement for something happening at a future date in cryptocurrencies, you can do this because it tends to work pretty well. So this is the Lisk Bitcoin comparative. Now, we had news that November 22nd, there was going to be software development kit release and also rebranding of Lisk and an announcement. So everybody was purchasing Lisk up until the date of that announcement, the 22nd, and then boom, price plummets when everybody sells off. So you could set a trailing stop loss, capture those profits, and then when the price starts to sell off, you get to keep your profits. But then that announcement there, that was a small sell-off because people were like, oh, there's something going on with Lisk. They're actually having the rebranding everything on February 20th. Okay, so February 20th is going to be the day when everything happens. So that was an even bigger one to ride up. People are buying, and you can ride this whole thing up with stop losses, and then when eventually the big sell-off takes place, you would get to capture a lot more profits. I mean, if you take a look at that, it goes from 54,000 Satoshis to 321,000 Satoshis. So like a 6x gain on that could have been had. So I hope you guys enjoy that stuff. Remember, it is a pretty simple concept, but it's just adjusting your stop losses on a regular basis to help make sure that you capture your profits. If your stop loss gets set off initially, like before you recapture those profits, yeah, you lose a little bit. So you need to make sure you're cautious of how much you put your stop loss. Generally, I do it between 10 and 25%. With Verge, I did it at 15% just because I thought that one was very volatile. And it did get set off pretty early, and I didn't feel like buying any more back in at that moment. So that's how you do it. Simple as can be, but that's how you can make money on days like today with crypto announcements. So guys, I thank you very much for watching. If you have not subscribed, make sure to subscribe for daily videos on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and I will catch you guys later. All right? Peace.